والصلاة والسلام على رسولنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. ربنا تقبل منا كما تقبلت من عبادك الصالحين. آمين يا رب العالمين. أيها الإخوة ضيوفنا الكرام، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. في البداية أريد أن أشكركم. نحن اليوم هنا في هذا حفلة للكلية وحفلة خاصة لأخونا كارل فيليب يوسف. مبكرا أو في الليل مع أخونا أدمير وكان الشغل، ولكن هذا ليس كما ينبغي، ولكن آسفوني. الوقت هو كما قال الله تعالى في كتابه الكريم: والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر. نحن المسلمون لازم أن نشوف مع هذا. عندنا اليوم يعني حفلة رسالة دكتورية كما قلت لكم لهذا أخ يوسف كارل فيليب يوسف، وهو قد كتب رسالة دكتورية analysis with regards to the problems of the application of the Islamic rules of the inheritage in the West. As I told from Carl Philip Yusuf Breckman, his mushrif is Professor Dr. Enver Gizic. I'd like to thank you, and you can sit. We are today to discuss about this dissertation. As I told Professor Enver Gizic, he was working with Mr. Yusuf as a member of this team. I am the president, and also Professor Dr. Admir Muratovic. In the first, I'd like to tell you that Carl Philip Yusuf, born in 1986 in Düsseldorf, Germany. He converted to the Islam in 2002. From 2002 or 2004 he was studying high school. From 2004 and 2007 training in content.
I finished this.
Okay, yes. After that he finished Islamic studies in South Africa at Madrasa Imamiyya. After that, 2015 he finished Master in Islamic Studies in Novi Pazar, here in this faculty, and since 2014 lectured by Ustadul Jamia in Islamic Studies at the Islamic Institution in Vienna. Okay. The first, you have from 20 to 30 minutes speak about your dissertation. You can speak in Arabic, that's right. After that we will discuss about this.
Maybe it would be easy, I can speak in English.
No
You can speak also in German.
No, in German it may
I
problem.
will speak.
Thank you very much. We can start.
Thank you.
Someone, please, I'm sorry. Evo ja želim da istaknem zbog arhive danas prisustvujemo odbrani doktorske disertacije kolege Karla Filipa Jusufa Breckmana, koji je priredio doktorsku disertaciju pod mentorstvom profesora doktora Envera Gizića, mentora mogućnosti primjene šerijetskog nasljednog prava. On je, kao što smo istakli, radio u doktorsku disertaciju koja će se braniti ovdje na našem fakultetu, pisane na engleskom jeziku. I evo ja želim da iskoristim priliku da istaknem da je naš Jusuf rođen 1986. godine u Düsseldorfu, Njemačka. 2002. godine je prihvatio islam, završio 2002. do 2004. godine, pohađao je srednju školu. 2004. do 2007. godine je završavao specijalističke studije. Od 2007. do 2012. godine boravio na islamskim studijama u Južnoj Africi, završio medresu za imama, odnosno fakultet. Na 2015. godine je završio master studije na Islamskom fakultetu u Novom Pazaru, prijavio je doktorsku disertaciju i evo mi imamo njega danas ovdje pred komisijom u sastavu, kako rekao mentor, profesor dr. Enver Gicić, moja malenkost, predsjednik komisije profesor dr. Mevlud Dudić i član komisije profesor dr. Admir Muratović. Po našoj proceduri on će svakako na engleskom jeziku braniti danas doktorsku disertaciju, a od 20 do 30 minuta će dakle govoriti, elaborirati urađenu doktorsku disertaciju. Želim u ime komisije da se zahvalim prisutnima, da poželim svaku sreću hajr našem Jusufu i evo ko Bog da možemo da počnemo. Felet Fatal.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd. First of all, I would also like to thank for this institution for giving me the opportunity to discuss my dissertation with you, and I'm also very proud to be part of this institution, as this is the only institution in the whole Europe which has the Waqf status and is teaching according to as we have inherited from our forefathers from the Islamic countries. And as our Mufti Effendi already has mentioned, is my thesis, my dissertation in analysis with regards to the problems of the implication of the Islamic rulings of inheritance in the West. In this dissertation of mine, I discuss a few problems which I guess maybe you as well have those kind of problems here in Serbia or here in Novi Bazar. For example, I discuss the problem, what will happen if a person, a non-Muslim, he will convert from Christianity or whatever to Islam, but his parents, they passed away as non-Muslims. So now the question is it allowed for this Muslim to take the estate to inherit from his non-Muslim parents? This is the first problem which I discussed in my dissertation. The second problem which I discussed in my dissertation is that what will happen if a Muslim passes away without leaving behind a testament, a wasiyah. What will happen? Normally, as it is in our countries, then in this case the rulings and laws of the state will apply. The state will determine how much this person will get from the estate of his father, mother, whoever. And I have shown in this dissertation of mine that actually there is a difference between the laws of the state, maybe the state of Austria or Germany, and the laws which we know in Islam. And I have shown, for example, in chapter number 1 and 2, the differences between the laws of Austria and the Islamic rulings. For example, if a person leaves behind a daughter, a brother and wife, then according to the Austrian law, the wife, she will get only 1/4 of the estate. And the children, they will share to equal shares the remaining estate. Unlike in Islam, if a person leaves behind wife and children, then in this case the wife, she will get 1/8 and the children will get the rest as asaba heirs. But the difference is they will inherit to the ratio to 1 and 2. In other words, that the sons will get more than the daughter. And I also spoke about this kind of problem because especially the media in the West are saying that Islam is unjust because the women rights, the women don't have any rights in Islam. And they take this as an example to say, see, look, the women in Islam get less of the estate than the man does. And I have shown and clearly that actually the man gets more than the woman, because in actual fact the man, according to Islam, he has to pay all the duties. He has to pay for the house, for clothing, for food as well, but the wife, she don't have to afford for anything. And because of this reason, the man gets more than the woman. But it's also important to say, actually the woman, she will benefit from that money which her husband will have, because he has to give her maintenance, clothing and food. And in my first chapter I discussed the most important linguistic meanings. For example, what is the definition of mirath? What is the definition of al-fara'id? Because it's very important to understand what is meant by the Islamic system of inheritance. Because if, like in the English language, we say, is it permissible to inherit from a non-Muslim? So normally we always think this refers to the Islamic way of inheritance, but in actual fact that here is a difference, because as I have shown in the first chapter, that farida or mirath means that a person has quota shares, a specific fixed share in the estate of his relative. And in this case, if we talk about inheritance, if we use this word inheritance in the English language, then we actually mean by this mirath or fara'id. And this is very important, so I came to the conclusion that actually with regards to that a Muslim can inherit from the non-Muslim, there is a big differences between the scholars of Islam. Although I have to admit that the mufta bihi, the official opinion of all 4 fiqh schools, is that it is not allowed for a Muslim to inherit from a non-Muslim. The main dalil for them is this famous hadith narrated in Al-Bukhari, La yarithu al-Muslim al-Kafir, wala al-Kafir al-Muslim. That's the main proof of those scholars. And I have shown that actually many Sahaba, for example Muawiyah bin Abi Sufyan, and other well-known scholars, for example Ibrahim al-Nakhai, Masruq al-Ajda', and as well Ibn Taymiyyah, they say that it is permissible for a Muslim to inherit from a non-Muslim. They say that the word kafir, which is used in this hadith, refers to a harbi, a person who is in war with the Islamic State. And as we, those who live in Europe, we don't live in Darul Harb, and actually there are more kind of states than only 2. Normally it is known that there is Darul Islam and Darul Harb, but actually the European countries must be classified as Darul Aman. So it should be absolutely permissible, based upon this, that it is permissible for a Muslim to inherit from a non-Muslim. And that means that we have to understand what does these scholars meant by this. That they say actually that the same as I, as a Muslim, have a fixed share in the estate of my Muslim father, in the same way I have a fixed share in the estate of my non-Muslim father. This they actually say that. Unlike, so it is a mistake to use the opinion of Muawiyah bin Abi Sufyan radiallahu an, Ibrahim al-Nakhai, Hassan al-Basri, to say it is permissible in general to inherit from a non-Muslim. And that was one conclusion which you can find in chapter 6. And my second conclusion was that, one moment, I just go to it, that the concept, as I told in the beginning, of inheritance is in the West different. For example, if a person leaves behind a house or a property and no testament in which he has mentioned that this house will go to that person, to this child or that child, then this is also permissible because it is understood to be a legacy. A legacy is just like a hiba, but this hiba will be distributed or will be given to the heir after the death. So actually, as I mentioned in the beginning, this is not inheritance. We mean by that miras or fara'id. Actually, this concept of inheritance in the West is a legacy. And according to everyone, to every scholar of Islam, it is permissible to do whatever you want during your lifetime with your wealth. And with the only difference that this legacy or this gift will be distributed to the so-called heir after the death of the legati. This was my conclusion as well. And also, I concluded there are many different possibilities for Muslims to deal with those kind of problems. For example, it is possible that in order not to violate any ruling or to say to go against the official opinion of the 4 fiqh schools, it is possible that I can say that I will distribute all my wealth during my lifetime. And in this case, I can also do whatever I want. And especially for a Muslim making a wasiyah to his non-Muslim relative, that is permissible according to everyone. So actually, example, can the Muslim husband spend or make a testament in favor of his non-Muslim wife? The answer is yes, but he can do it only to up to 1/3 of his estate. This was a conclusion as well. And it should also be focused upon the first option because, as I spoke at the beginning, that the Islamic concept of inheritance is used as to portray a bad picture about Islam. And I said that actually the man pays more than the women, therefore he gets more than the women. But actually in our European countries, the woman by law is forced to pay the same what the man has to pay. For example, the woman, she is divorced or she lives alone and she has children. Then she has to afford from her own money the maintenance, food and clothing. And unfortunately, in the European countries, it is such that the cost of living is very high. And many women, wife and husband are forced to work. And in this case, she has to bear the same expenses as the man. Therefore, the Islamic institutions, especially in Europe, should educate the community, the Muslim community, to take those kind of options and to say that especially the women should be...
Can you continue in Arabic language, please?
Oh,
It's not bad, but you have 5 minutes.
okay.
It's not bad.
Last one.
Okay.
He will listen, Arabic.
It's better to discuss after the session.
Okay. And lastly, that it is very important to discuss those kind of problems with the Muslim community in order to solve these kind of problems so that there will be no possibility of violating any Sharia law. As you may know, if a person gets money not according to...
Na naše veliko zadovoljstvo, danas, 20. aprila, na dan grada Novog Pazara, grada čiji je osnivač Gazi Isa Beg, na mjestu gdje je osnovat grad Novi Pazar, na Fakultetu za islamske studije, bile su 2 odbrane doktorskih disertacija na koje smo mi posebno ponosni. Prva disertacija iz oblasti arapskog jezika Doktorsku disertaciju je branio doktor, već sada Ali Džejlani. Interesantno da se radi o osobi koja je turskog porijekla, koji je rođen u Medini, u Jordanu završio fakultet, u Njemačkoj preko 20 godina radi kao imam, magistrirao u Njemačkoj, a odabrao je naš fakultet da na njemu doktorira. Ono što je još važno spomenuti kada je u pitanju ova doktorska disertacija jeste da mentor na ovoj disertaciji je bio doktor Ali Ljaga, poznati islamski autoritet iz Libana, koji je gostujući profesor na našem univerzitetu, odnosno fakultetu. Druga odbrana doktorske disertacije koja je upravo završena jeste mastera doktora Jusufa, koji je dakle doktorirao danas. Jusuf Drekman je Njemac koji je primio islam, živi i radi u Beču, u Austriji, masterirao je na našem fakultetu, a danas doktorirao iz oblasti fikha na veoma važnu temu koja se odnosi na pitanje nasljeđivanja ili mogućnosti inkorporacije šerijatskog nasljednog prava u austrijski zakon pod mentorstvom profesora doktora Envera Gicića, a također danas smo u prilici da master na našem fakultetu brani još jedan naš efendija koji dolazi nam iz Bosne. Tako da naš fakultet i grad Novi Pazar da danas kada obilježava svoj rođendan prosto demonstrira činjenicu da je postao centrom regiona kada je u pitanju i šire, kada je u pitanju visoko obrazovanje, posebno islamsko visoko obrazovanje. Na tu činjenicu smo i posebno ponosni, zahvalni gospodaru svjetova što nam je omogućio da uživamo u tim blagodatima i da svršenici našeg fakulteta budu ti koji će pronositi dostojanstvo naše institucije i u Njemačkoj, ali i širom svijeta i širom regiona, na zadovoljstvo nas, ali i ljudi sa kojima će oni raditi, ali prije svega u skladu sa zadovoljstvom gospodara svjetova.